In my previous life, I married my best friend. Enter the famous Carter family. Traditional medicine. My best friend is married to my oldest son, Ethan Carter. I married my youngest son, Noah Carter. However, my best friend gave birth to 3 children for Ethan. They are medical geniuses. Meanwhile, I only gave birth to a daughter for Noah. And the daughter, she's so stupid. She can't even do the simplest math. Just like Noah cares a lot about his reputation. Feeling very humiliated. A few years later, at a traditional medicine conference, I took my daughter with me, just because she stuttered and called me daddy. The whole room burst into laughter. Angry at public humiliation, Noah stabbed our daughter to death. Then it knocked me down. When I opened my eyes again, Noah and I were both born again. This time at the arranged marriage party. Noah was the first person to hold my best friend's hand. Then say, "I like you. Will you marry me?" Carter family. A family of traditional Chinese medicine. Hold a grand banquet. Invite well-known medical professionals. And Charleston's elite families. This is an open dating event. My family has always been in medicine. 3 generations. But our private hospitals have recently got some trouble. Attend a banquet. This is my chance to seek help from the Carter family. Thinking about my previous fate. Arranged marriage. Bitterness fills my heart. Become the center of attention. The Carter brothers. Surrounded by admirers. Radiate confidence and charm. Nearby, 2 socialites were whispering. Youngest son Noah Carter has such a gentle temperament. He looks like a sweetheart. The oldest, Ethan Carter, is very handsome. But he's a bit standoffish, isn't he? More than a little. He was cold as ice. Haven't you heard how cold he is? They say his medical skills are unmatched. But if he doesn't like someone, he won't even lend a hand. But Noah is different. He is easygoing. He treats every patient kindly, no matter who they are. If I were looking for a husband, I will definitely choose someone as gentle as him. But isn't Noah a bastard? It doesn't matter anymore. He's been recognized by his family, isn't he? Next to me is my best friend Olivia James, listening to their conversation with excitement. She held my arm tightly, her eyes fixed on Noah in the crowd. The moment our eyes met unexpectedly, she blushed and looked away. I let out a mocking laugh. In my previous life, I was deceived by the same gentle appearance. My grandfather, father, and brother are all doctors. Naturally, I followed in their footsteps. With my extraordinary talent, I became a famous golden hand surgeon in Charleston. Because of my reputation, my skills, Noah chose me as his arranger, marriage partner. That too, when I learned, Olivia has always had feelings for him. But on the night we got engaged, he is drunk. He accidentally slept with Ethan. A month later, she was pregnant. So she reluctantly married Ethan. After marriage, Noah and I lived happily for a while. As everyone says, he is a loving and warm-hearted man. At that time I thought, I'm lucky to have found such a great husband. I never thought about it. That he will be the source of my greatest pain. Soon after marrying Ethan, Olivia gave birth to 3 healthy sons in a row. My father-in-law was very happy. Praise her for being the perfect daughter-in-law. Even rewarded her with $900 million. Meanwhile, I couldn't get pregnant. As time went on, Noah began to change. He became impatient with me, irritable and easily agitated. He despised the fact. People whispered that he had no children. He blames me. I'm a person with health problems. So he forced me to drink countless traditional potions, enduring countless acupuncture treatments. And finally, it even made me quit my job at the hospital, so I can focus on trying to get pregnant. But I'm a doctor. I know my body. The problem is not me, it's him. A full 10 years. I took numerous herbal remedies. I ruined my health and still couldn't get pregnant. I can't take it anymore. I told Noah we should get a divorce, so he can have kids with someone else. He laughed at me. Do you know how much effort I put in for you? Now you think you can leave. I only chose you for this arranged marriage because of your medical talent. Do you really think I'm in love with you? But what's the use of your talent if you can't even have a child? No use. We had a heated argument. I passed out. When I woke up, I found him sitting by my bed and smiling. You're pregnant, he said. He seems to have regained his former gentle side, pamper me with affectionate words. So I was pregnant with his child for 10 months. I gave birth to a daughter. But my happiness didn't last long. Olivia's 3 sons. Medical training officially started. They're teachers. With family, they are constantly praised as medical geniuses. My father-in-law, excited by their talent. Announcement of retirement. And handover. Much of the Carter family's business empire. For Ethan. Meanwhile, my daughter couldn't even solve a simple 1 + 2 equation. She's unresponsive and a complete idiot. Noah is heartbroken. He lashed out at me. Call me a useless woman. Can't have a son. Kicked me out of the Carter house. Nothing. I don't feel wronged. In fact, I feel relieved. I started a new life alone with my daughter. But at a medical conference, my daughter stammered a word, Dad. Everyone around laughed and made fun of Noah. His face flushed with shame. He felt humiliated. That night, he rushed into my house and stabbed my daughter to death. It is because of this idiot I can't show up. He screamed, Die, 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 die. I pushed him away with all my strength, trying to take my daughter to the hospital. But Noah has completely lost his mind. His face was twisted with anger. He attacked me from behind. When I was dying, I held my daughter's tiny, lifeless body in my arms. My blood ran cold and my consciousness disappeared. I never thought I would be reborn. But I do. And not only that. I went back to the night of the party. I am filled with intense hatred. Make my fingers tremble. I turned to look at Noah. My eyes were cold. But before I do anything, I saw him walking straight toward Olivia. My whole body froze. At that moment, I suddenly understood. He was also reborn. My 2 sons, focused on medical research. They almost. Still single at 30. If this continues, I won't even have hope of having grandchildren. Henry Carter, patriarch of the Carter family, sighed exaggeratedly. Everyone at the party understood. This is a dating event. Henry is here to choose. Find a suitable marriage partner for one of his sons. Ethan, Henry's eldest son by his first wife. He is an extraordinary talent, respected by the medical community as a legendary healer. Noah's youngest son, the child of Henry's current wife. There are rumors that he is a bastard. Pregnancy before marriage. But he has a good reputation. Widely regarded as a kind and easygoing person. In my previous life, Noah carefully investigated all the women. Attend this banquet before making a choice. He knew his medical skills would never surpass Ethan's. He has been spoiled since childhood. Never really committed to school. To make up for his shortcomings, he wants to marry an intelligent woman. This time, he didn't even look in my direction. He walked straight towards Olivia. In the shocked expressions of the crowd, he held her hand and said, I love you. Will you marry me? The whole room quieted down. Someone whispered, Who is she? Olivia's family, James' family. Have some wealth. But they weren't even on the guest list. Tonight's event. She asked me to take her with me. I didn't think too much about it at the time. After all, these arranged marriages usually occurs between families of equal status. At most. I thought she was just watching the fun. From the outside, Henry frowned and asked, Are you sure? Noah smiled and nodded. I've always liked Olivia. I'm going to take this opportunity tonight to confess and propose to her. As he said, he looked at Olivia lovingly. Overjoyed, Olivia didn't hesitate for a second. Yes, I will marry you, she replied eagerly. At that moment, Noah just looked at me. But in that moment, I saw everything: contempt, disdain, complete rejection. It's like he's looking at a piece of garbage. A chill ran down my spine. My memories of the last moments of my past life, my fears, My hatred surged up again. I clenched my fists tightly. My nails dug deep into my palms. The severe pain made me unable to move. I'm on the verge of losing control, marching to Noah, and slapped him, tearing down his carefully maintained facade. Just when I was about to explode, a warm hand suddenly held my cold wrist. I was startled, looked up, and saw a pair of deep black eyes. The man in front of me is wearing a well-tailored suit. His presence is awe-inspiring and distant, but at the corner of his mouth, there is a faint smile. "Marry me," he said. There were gasps coming from the room. People exchanged glances and whispered to each other. Are both Carter brothers in love? With the same woman? Everyone knows. My private hospital is in trouble. Whoever marries me. These issues must be resolved first. Investing resources to stabilize the family business. The benefits haven't even arrived yet. But they have to clean up my mess first. When I was first selected as a potential match for the Carter family, no one sees me as a real competitor. Henry frowned but said nothing. After all, his son is getting married. Noah's face was gloomy and he said coldly, "Ethan, before you get married, you should at least check if your fiancé physically capable of bearing children. You don't want to waste time." I regretted it later. A surge of anger surged in my heart, about to explode. But before I react, Ethan gently held my hand and responded calmly, in different tone. "Who I marry is none of your business, Noah. You should worry about your choices. Besides, I married her because I liked her, not because she's fertile." Noah's face froze. The meaning of Ethan's words is obvious. He mocked Noah's choice of wife, purely for having children. Noah's mother quickly forced a smile, trying to calm the situation. "Ethan, your brother is just looking out for you. But since you have both chosen your partner, they are willing. Let's set a date and make it official." Henry Carter said nothing, but he did not oppose his son's decision. The guests sighed. They exchanged glances and then made excuses to leave. After Olivia left, she looked at me and laughed. "Ethan, I admit this woman is beautiful, but there are still many pretty faces. Don't let the impulse of the moment ruin your future. You'll soon realize she's all appearance, no substance. You will regret it." When I got home, my parents have already known the news. After months of stress at the hospital, they finally relaxed a little. Our family and the Carter family start actively preparing for the wedding. In discussing how to balance our common interests, the day before Noah's wedding, Olivia came to see me. She is full of happiness. But when she saw me, she looked a little uneasy. "Tanya, Noah confessed to me that night." I was caught off guard. "That's why I didn't speak for you right away. I really love him. He promised to give me the best life." She hesitated, then lowered her voice. "I heard his brother is cruel and heartless. I think Ethan just chose to marry you so he can take over your family hospital. You should think carefully about this marriage." I looked at Olivia's smug expression and sneered inwardly. She was indeed my best friend before marriage. But after marriage, she just watched me suffer, laugh at my misfortune. In my previous life, she tried to convince me. "Noah doesn't love me," advised me to marry someone who truly cares about me. When I was in pain from Noah's abuse, she smiled and said, "I told you." When I couldn't get pregnant, she told me, "If you can't have children, just let Noah find someone else to bear his child. You can always make it your own. Then you won't have to suffer." I hope, if you've been through what I've been through in my past life, you can still speak such righteous words. Olivia has been eagerly looking forward to a grand wedding, dreaming of creating a grand, entering high society. But to her surprise, Noah, no intention of holding a lavish ceremony. He made things extremely simple. Book a few small tables at the hotel. Intimate gatherings with close family and friends. Have some floral arrangements. Hire someone who is efficient, that's it. Olivia was so upset that she cried, feeling extremely humiliated. However, Noah gently comforted her and said, "My father doesn't like to show off his wealth too much. Once we have a child, He will make it up to us with a big celebration. I almost laughed when I heard this. Olivia's family, not even considered a true elite, in Charleston. The only reason Noah chose her was because, in my previous life, she gave birth to 3 talented sons. But Noah is vain. He always felt marrying someone of lower status would make him feel insecure. This is why he refused to have a lavish wedding. The Carters didn't have the money for a big wedding. Of course not. But Olivia naively believed his lies. I've experienced his sweet talk before. In my previous life, I foolishly believed that Noah married me out of love. I thought his kindness to me was genuine, but failed to get pregnant within 3 years. He has completely changed. On my wedding day, Ethan held a grand ceremony at the Carter family's private estate, invited numerous elite families from Charleston. Dressed in a crisp white suit, he is tall and elegant. His usual cold and distant expression, with a rare joy, as the guests cheered. He put his arm around my waist and lifted my veil. "Tilt your head and kiss me. Happy wedding, my wife," he whispered. I felt my face getting hot and my heart pounding. Isn't Ethan supposed to be cold and unapproachable? Why? The man before me seems to be quite different from what everyone says. I remember in my previous life, Ethan rarely appears at family gatherings. He was always distant and indifferent when he was with Olivia. A full day of immersion in traditional medicine, or work in a hospital, or live in his private apartment. Meanwhile, Olivia just laughed at me, constantly complaining about Ethan. Just a workaholic robot. After the wedding, Ethan took me to live in an apartment outside Carter Manor. I was surprised. We will not live at home with parents. In my previous life, Noah insisted on living with his parents, claiming that it was his responsibility to take care of them. He couldn't bear to let the elders feel lonely. Ethan loosened his tie slightly and replied, "If we live with them, how do we have time to enjoy married life?" My face gets hot. I don't know how to respond. But before I speak, Ethan suddenly hugged me in his arms. Then he carried me into the bedroom. When I woke up the next morning, the housekeeper told me, "Ethan is already on a business trip, treating patients." I looked at the message he sent to my phone, feeling a strange sense of emptiness. So he is really a workaholic. People in high society always gossip. Olivia is Noah's true love. The media portrayed them as a perfect couple. Noah loves Olivia very much. Spend countless money on health products for her. Protect her from her own mother. Do almost everything possible to spoil her. He was even called an ideal husband by the media. At the same time, for some reason, rumors started to spread about me. In the hospital where I work, her husband is on a business trip. The second day of the wedding. It sounds like she's just a pawn in a bigger conspiracy. Maybe Ethan really has another lover. A big wedding is meaningless. These high society. Marriage is just a business. They live their own lives. I overheard colleagues whispering behind my back. More than just a hospital. The media even went a step further, posting scandalous headlines e.g. Carter family heir forced into a loveless marriage. Newlywed Ethan Carter avoids going home. I prefer work to my wife. These rumors are getting bigger and bigger, until it reaches boiling point. At a family gathering. It's been a year since I last saw Olivia. She is no longer as charming as before. Her figure became more plump. Her eyes were filled with fatigue. She has some obvious acne on her face. When she saw me, shock and jealousy flashed in her eyes. "Tanya, I never thought Ethan would be away from home. You'll still do well." I smiled. Ethan may not be here, but he eats well. Sleep well and take good care of yourself. Of course, I do that too. Olivia's expression became dull for a moment. Then she turned quickly to Noah, holding her arm. He deliberately said it in an intimate tone. Noah took good care of me. He never made me work too hard, always telling me to just stay home and enjoy life. I didn't react when I saw this. Olivia came over and added with fake concern, "Tanya, why don't you quit too? Working in the hospital is tiring. Or Ethan won't give you money. I laughed. Do I look like someone who needs a man to support me? You should know that my family is rich. My voice remains calm, but my words have a sharp meaning. Who told you that my husband doesn't give me money? Olivia's smile froze. Before she responded, Noah suddenly interrupted. It seems like you really admire my brother, doesn't it? I looked at him with an indifferent expression. I certainly admire my husband. Noah's face darkened instantly. He sneered coldly. Olivia was obviously nervous. Hold Noah's arm tightly. Her eyes flickered between the two of us. She tried to pull Noah away, but to everyone's surprise, Noah has always been known to pamper her. Shake her hand away. Olivia was caught off guard and stumbled back. Noah's face was cold and he whispered, Tanya, since you've married my brother, you think you can look down on others. Do you really believe that your position is so secure? Just because Ethan can solve your family's problems. If he could fix them, I can easily destroy them again. I smiled softly. I don't want to waste time with him anymore. I turned and left. But Noah suddenly grabbed my wrist for some reason. I won't allow you to fall in love with someone else. I struggled to break free from his grasp. But before I break free, a cold and authoritative voice came from the entrance. Let her go. Everyone turned to the door. Ethan stood there. His sharp eyes were fixed on Noah. His voice is calm, but the command in his tone was undeniable. Do you really want to put your hands on my wife? Noah instinctively let go of his hand. Everyone in the Carter family, except their father. The person Noah fears most is Ethan. Ethan's medical talent is unmatched. He earned the title of legendary healer at a very young age. Countless people seek his expertise every day. His influence has expanded significantly. Carter family relationships make him someone no one dares to offend. Noah's medical skills are mediocre at best. No exception. Until I married Ethan, I truly understand why Noah has maintained such a good reputation among the outsiders. Because Ethan lives alone, the world only sees illusions. The Carter brothers have a good relationship. When people can't get help from Ethan, they naturally turn to Noah. Noah has always relied on his mother's favoritism and Henry Carter's indulgence of his youngest son. Because of this, Ethan has treated many wealthy and powerful patients. Representative Noah. As time went on, rumors began to spread. Ethan is cold and heartless. Noah is warm and approachable. Ethan glanced at my wrist. Noah caught me earlier. His tone was calm but sharp. Noah, you are almost 30 years old. Stop being a spoiled brat. Sticking to dad all day. Focus on improving your medical skills, rather than embarrass the Carter family. Noah's face suddenly darkened. Ethan's words are clear. He wants Noah to move out of Carter Manor and stop using his fame to attract patients. There is no such connection. Not only will Noah lose his extra income and his network, Noah sneered. I can stay at the family estate as long as I want. You can't decide. Maybe you should focus on treating more patients instead of interfering in my affairs. People are already saying you look down on others just because of your skills. I chuckled. Noah, your published research papers and patient cases. Not even a third of my husband's. What qualifications do you have to criticize him? If you are really capable, stop accepting patients under his name and treat them personally. Noah's face turned pale. He gritted his teeth. His voice was filled with resentment. This is not about you. How dare you talk to your brother-in-law like that? Didn't you hear my warning? Ethan, visibly annoyed, interrupted him. I'm going to talk to my dad tonight. You should learn how to be independent. After that, he took me upstairs. When we arrived at the room, Ethan examined my wrist himself. Carefully apply ointment to where Noah grabbed me. He stared at my wrist for a while before whispering, patients I treated last year. Noah accepted them. Their cases are rare, so I can't ignore them. But don't worry. I won't be away for so long again. I won't let our family abuse you. I couldn't help laughing. People say you're cold and heartless, but actually, You're just a soft-hearted person. Ethan's mouth showed a rare smile. Then, without warning, he pulled me into his arms and kissed me deeply. Henry Carter finally ordered Noah to move out of the manor. At the same time, someone leaked the details of the incident at the banquet. Soon, the entire elite circle knew about it. That the Carter brothers aren't as close as they seem. It has also become a well-known thing. Noah secretly used Ethan's fame to attract wealthy patients. His reputation was damaged. Noah loses a large portion of its network and influence. After half a month of happy married life, Ethan and I finally returned to normal work. One day, Olivia showed up at my door, crying. "Tanya, do you like Noah?" she asked. "You're married. Why do you want to ruin his reputation? Just because he didn't choose you? Arranged marriage. How could you be so unreasonable?" I looked at her in disbelief. Did Noah completely brainwash her? In my previous life, Olivia focused on raising children. She had never been so obsessed with Noah before. "I think you're just jealous because Noah really loves me," she added. Her tone was full of self-righteous pity. "Tanya, stop interfering. I know you can't have children. That's why you do it." I sneered. "Wow, Olivia, you really think you're so great, don't you? Just because you can have children. Look, I don't care who Noah loves. The man I love is Ethan. So don't get me into your trouble. Because you firmly believe that your husband is the best. Why don't you focus on your marriage?" My eyes swept over her. Notice how much weight she has gained. I added with a pointed smile. "Oh, if you're okay, maybe you should stop taking these supplements. Be careful not to overdo it and harm your health." Olivia's face was twisted with anger. Her expression, from embarrassment to frustration. I can't refute it. She stamped her feet and walked away angrily. The moment she left, I felt a pair of strong arms wrap around my waist. From behind, a familiar warm breath brushed past my ears. "So, my wife really loves me, yeah?" Ethan's deep, amusing voice sends chills down my spine. When he pressed on my back, I froze, feeling the heat radiating from him. "You are so heavy," I muttered. "Let me go." But I didn't let go. Ethan pulled me onto his lap. "Hold me tightly in your arms. Noah was spoiled by his father and mother," he whispered. "Rest your chin on my shoulder." I gave him a little lesson the other day, but he still doesn't understand his position. He paused, then added, "By the way, do you have any health problems? Olivia said you can't have children." My body is tense. What if I really can't get pregnant? At least, I don't have to endure the pain of childbirth. But before I respond, Ethan interrupted my train of thought. "I checked your pulse earlier. There is nothing wrong with your body." His tone was firm. "But even if there is, if someone is sick, they should get treatment. That's all." I can see from Ethan's words. He just cares about my health. No more, no less. My throat was choked and I didn't think. I buried my head in his chest. After that day, Ethan, noticing my growing interest in traditional medicine, and began to introduce me to various medical literature. We often discuss the East and Western medical technology, share insights and debate. Our passion for medicine and our work deepen. As time went on, my reputation as a surgeon grew. More and more patients come to me every month. At the same time, whether intentional or unintentional, Noah continues to send Ethan patients with rare and complex diseases. As a result, Ethan's medical skills have been enhanced faster than our past lives. His expertise in traditional medicine reached an extraordinary level, comparable even to the most experienced practitioners. Decades of experience. Henry Carter, in his subtle way, started to hint that he wanted Ethan taking over the family business empire. This made Noah panic, desperate to consolidate their position. He forced Olivia to take numerous herbs. I hope she can get pregnant with a genius son soon, who can consolidate his position in the Carter family. Olivia suffered greatly, but she firmly believes that Noah really loves her. She must give him a son. 5 years have passed. Ethan and I continue to grow, both in our medical expertise and in our relationships. Our relationship is as strong as ever. We often have heated arguments about medical disparities, but outside of work, Ethan always surprises me with small acts of love. He once told me that in medicine, we are both competitors and colleagues, but in life, I'm just your husband. He gave me the utmost respect, career freedom, and love. So many. Everyone envies me for being the perfect wife. Have a perfect marriage. Maybe my previous life was full of pain. Fate decided to give me a second chance. This time I decided to have a child with Ethan. Ethan fully supports this idea. He took every test, follow every health regimen, work with me, making sure we are all at our best. Pregnant. In my previous life, when I failed to get pregnant, Noah and his mother blamed me for everything. He is sure, as a member of a famous medical family, there can't be anything wrong with his body. He insisted that I couldn't get pregnant. It was my fault. When I finally convinced him to take the test with me, the results showed that my body. There are complications. Even though his grades seemed completely normal, Noah accompanied me to several hospitals. The diagnosis remains the same. I am the problem. Guilty and exhausted. I am committed to endless therapy. For 10 years, I endured acupuncture, herbs, and all possible ways to improve fertility. I followed every instruction of Noah, desired to fulfill wifely duties. But when he finally abandoned me, forced me and my daughter to leave the Carter family, I accidentally discovered the truth. The real problem was never me. It's Noah, his genetic condition. It makes it almost impossible for his sperm to survive. Even if by some miracle he gave birth to a child, the baby may be born unhealthy. I was deceived for 10 years. I've recovered, but I continue to suffer his lies. So let Noah believe that Olivia is his lucky charm, to give him a genius child. I sneered. Let's see if the luck can continue. When Ethan and I were trying to get pregnant, Olivia's health is deteriorating. One day, she accidentally saw the results. One of my medical tests. To my surprise, they didn't laugh at me. She smiled with relief. I just knew it. Deep down, you still care about whether you can have children. There was a hint of pride in her voice. Have you received acupuncture treatments many times? I have taken many herbal remedies over the years, but if you still can't get pregnant, I suggest you let Ethan has a child with someone else. Then you won't have to suffer. I glanced at her and noticed her appearance. When she first married Noah, he provided her with many luxuries. Head to toe, designer clothes, expensive handbags, and the arrogance that comes from being spoiled. But now she wears simple, cheap clothes. Her bag is from a few years ago and is obviously outdated. She must have noticed my gaze, because she stammered. What are you watching? Noah told me. Wearing affordable clothes is better for my health. Reduce exposure to harsh chemicals. I smiled, as long as you like. Then after a pause, I added casually. By the way, Olivia, if you have trouble getting pregnant, you should consider being generous and let Noah find someone else to bear his child. You don't want to stop him? Her face was twisted with anger. But I didn't wait for a response. I turned and left. Behind me, Olivia stamped her feet angrily. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Because soon, Olivia is indeed pregnant. Noah was ecstatic. He immediately took Olivia on a shopping spree. Give her gifts and promises. As long as you give birth to a son, he told her. I will buy you a villa. Henry Carter and Noah's mother, equally ecstatic. Olivia was rewarded with a large sum of money. Everywhere they went, they boast about their future grandchildren. Olivia, after 5 years of feeling ignored, finally regained her arrogance. She waited outside my hospital. Announcement. Tanya from the Carter family. I don't need the money you earn from work. I suggest you resign and focus on giving Ethan a son. Otherwise, as Noah said, one day you may find yourself divorced. She rubbed her still flat belly with pride. It seems that she has already established her position in the family. I laughed, Olivia. If your baby is smaller than Noah's expectations, do you really think he won't divorce you? Her expression froze. Now she has spent enough time with Noah. Know what kind of person he is. She saw how he treated me when I couldn't give him the son he wanted. But she still holds on to her fantasy. At present. You're just jealous, Olivia snapped. Even if I give birth to a daughter this time, I will definitely give birth to a son next time. Not like you. There is not even the hope of having a child of my own. I laughed. How can you be so sure? Noah said so, and I believe him. She stubbornly retorted. I sneered. You are awesome, Olivia. Let others deceive you. And still think them. Perhaps when one's self-interest is threatened, all rationality is gone. No matter how close we were before. Once, marriage brings conflicts of interest. Our friendship won't last forever. That moment, Noah came hurriedly. Show Olivia your tender care now. His behavior reminds me of the loving husband he once was. In the early days of their marriage, Olivia buried her face in his chest. She cried and accused me of being jealous. Noah turned and glared at me, his voice shrill. Tanya, no matter how much you hate me, do you dare to hurt Olivia? He noticed how I've changed over the years. It's like he's starting to doubt me. Also Reborn. But I just looked at him indifferently. I don't care what happens to you two. Don't show up in my life anymore. Just then, Ethan came to pick me up from get off work. He glanced at the tense atmosphere. Then hold me in your arms. His tone was cold as he addressed Olivia. Stop bothering your sister-in-law. Olivia turned pale and instinctively stepped back. Noah's face darkened. Ethan, do you really want to protect Tanya? I don't even know what happened. She is my wife. If I don't protect her, who can I protect? Ethan's tone was calm and firm. Even if she is wrong, so what? If you two come to cause trouble again, I will make sure. Neither of you work in the medical field in Charleston. Never again. Noah clenched his fists. His expression was unreadable. He knows very well. Henry Carter has given Ethan almost complete control of the family business. If Ethan wants to transfer him to another hospital in another city, it's well within his power. No choice but to swallow my anger. Noah turned and left. For the next 6 months, everything was quiet. Olivia's belly is getting bigger. Soon after, my child was born. This time, my baby was welcomed into this world with love, not used as a pawn in a power struggle. When Olivia found out, she called to congratulate me, even though her tone wasn't sincere. Tanya, you always say you don't care, but you really put a lot of effort into it. These years must have been tough. I remained silent as she continued. Noah told me you may never fully recover. Even if you succeed in getting pregnant, your child may have a health problem. I can hear the fake sympathy in her voice. In the background, Noah's voice sneered. Olivia, why do you care so much? Ethan will love whatever Tanya gives birth to. I scoffed. Noah, if you were born again, don't you know why? Some children are born unhealthy. The day Olivia gave birth, Noah has arranged a VIP suite in the hospital. He personally insured the best obstetrician in the entire facility, responsible for handling her deliveries. Henry Carter arrives at the hospital in person. Carter family members accompanied him. Everyone is eagerly waiting for the birth of the next heir. Henry smiled proudly and patted Noah on the shoulder. Well done, son. I can finally hug my grandson. Noah was ecstatic. But when he turned around and saw me, there was a sneer on his lips. I ignored him. A moment later, a nurse came out of the delivery room, holding a newborn. Congratulations, it's a boy. Henry suddenly burst into laughter. A grand celebration is about to take place. We will host the most luxurious 100-day party for my grandson. Noah was shaking with excitement. Reach out and hug your son. But even though he was extremely happy, he forced himself to remain calm. When he asked the baby, his voice was a little trembling. He's healthy, right? You've checked. The doctor came forward. Signal the nurse to take the baby away. Further examination. Noah's face froze. His expression became stiff and unnatural. However, Henry remains optimistic. Go ahead, get them through the test quickly. I want to hug my grandson already. But then came the shocking news. The doctor came back with a serious expression. Slow response in infants. His cerebellum is underdeveloped. He is likely to have cognitive impairment. The joyful atmosphere in the room was instantly broken. Henry's laughter suddenly stopped. When he realized this, his face turned stiff. Meanwhile, Noah stood stunned and silent. His lips parted slightly. He seemed unable to comprehend what he had just heard. He murmured, "Why? I chose a different person this time. How is this possible?" Then his face twisted with fear and disbelief. He let out an angry roar. "No, that's impossible. How could he be abnormal?" Noah's voice trembled. Didn't Olivia take good care of herself? She failed to protect the child. Is this why he was born? But the doctor crushed his delusion. In a sentence, the baby has a genetic defect. Noah's face twisted with fear. You are lying. This is all because Olivia didn't take care of herself. His voice turned into a hysterical scream. How can a mentally retarded child be mine? Get rid of him. Send him to an orphanage. Weak and trembling, Olivia rushed out of the ward. Her body is still weak from childbirth. Noah, are you crazy? He is your son. She stood in front of the baby to protect her. Open your arms. Refusing to let Noah get close. She cried with tears streaming down her face. Do you know how much medicine I took? How many injections have I endured? Just to give birth to him. You keep saying you need a son. Now he's here. You rejected him just because he was different. Noah, you're a monster. Hatred flickered in her eyes. I lowered my eyes. I felt conflicted. In my previous life, I gave birth to a daughter. Noah didn't even look at her. When she was 1 year old, he realized she was abnormal. Just like now, he screamed to abandon her. Said she embarrassed him. At that time, Henry Carter, the only one who stopped Noah's madness. From then on, Noah fell into a miserable situation. For months, he has been avoiding family gatherings. She refused to visit her son. He vehemently denies any contact with the child. Meanwhile, Olivia is still recovering from giving birth, busy taking care of the children. But before she could fully recover her strength, Noah has put pressure on her to get pregnant again. This time, he told her, we will have a healthy son. He forced her to take more drugs, get more injections. I believe that if they try again, they will get the child he wants. Henry rebuked him many times, but Noah refused to change. And Olivia, maybe out of love, maybe out of desperation, I chose to obey him. And Olivia endured the pain. I gave birth to a healthy daughter. The moment the doctor confirmed, she is very healthy. My eyes are filled with tears. Ethan wiped them away gently. Hold our daughter in your arms. His voice is soft and warm. You're trying too hard. I will be a good father. I watched him carefully practice holding her. His big hands are surprisingly gentle. He even moved his office work to the ward, so he can get closer to us. Pregnancy takes a toll on your body. He stroked my hair and whispered, for us, 1 daughter is enough. His tone was calm, seems to be seeking my consent, rather than imposing decisions. His words warmed my heart. I've heard. He almost collapsed from exhaustion while waiting outside the delivery room. Think about how much he cares about our daughter. Past years. I laughed. Ethan, why are you so nice to me? This doesn't even feel like an arranged marriage. It feels like we're in love. And voluntarily marry. His ears are a little red. He coughed awkwardly and muttered, I've been following you for a long time. Medicine has no boundaries. I have always admired your Western medicine skills. I hold back my laughter. So he has always been secretly interested in me. Ethan and I quickly became doting parents, dedicated to raising my daughter. But as we enjoy our new life, I heard about Olivia, less than 5 months after giving birth. Olivia is pregnant again. She has taken every precaution, but she still had a miscarriage. Noah was very angry. Say she is useless. He ordered her to recover as soon as possible, so she can get pregnant again. He doesn't care about her happiness. It's just that she gave birth to a medical genius for him. Desperately, make sure she can focus on another pregnancy. Noah secretly abandoned their firstborn son. In the orphanage, when Olivia found out, she lost her mind. She rushed to the hospital, yelling at the doctor in front of him. Nurse and patient. Noah Carter, you are the real problem. You can't give birth to a healthy child. But you keep blaming me. Her voice was filled with anger and pain. You are a coward. You falsified the medical report. Makes me believe that I'm the problem. But the fact is that you have a genetic defect. That's why no matter how many children we have, they will all get sick. The hospital hall was filled with gasps. News of their fight spread quickly. Soon, it wasn't just hospital gossip. Olivia and Noah's divorce becomes a public scandal, even popular on the internet. Henry Carter, fury, do his best, covering up shame. His son brought. He arranged for Olivia to receive compensation and obtain full custody of the child. Make sure she leaves the marriage with dignity. And just like that, Olivia walked away. The child in her arms. Her suffering was finally over. However, Noah was completely destroyed. His reputation plummeted. Any hope of another high-status marriage. Devastated. No one wants to have anything to do with him. In desperation, he finally found a new girlfriend and hastily married. But the curse followed him. His new wife almost died because of him. When her family learned the truth, they dragged him into a legal dispute. Henry is exhausted. Watch. His younger son fell further into disgrace. His mother, once a proud and well-kept socialite, aged 10 years. Overnight. Even if they have all the wealth and connections. Carter family. No longer able to protect him from his own downfall. Henry Carter's wife. 10 years younger than him. But now standing next to him, she looks older. Years of stress have worn her out. As for Noah, he didn't end up going to jail. The court ruled that he was mentally unstable and sent him to a mental hospital. Even in prison, he kept talking to himself over and over again. I'm born again. I can do it again. This time I will definitely give birth to a genius son. When I walked out of the courthouse, Olivia stood outside with her son in her arms. Her expression is complicated. It seemed like she wanted to say something but didn't know how. Hesitated for a while. She finally came up to me and whispered, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't compete with you." I smiled faintly and walked past her without responding. Our friendship has been wiped out. In my previous life. Why should I care about her now? To me, she is just a stranger. As time went by, my daughter grew up. Her teachers and relatives. She is constantly praised as a medical genius. As her mother, I know the truth. She is indeed very smart, but lack of patient guidance and proper education. She can't improve so fast. The only granddaughter of the Carter family, she is admired and praised by everyone around her.